Yet another Mars shock. Sensors detect 400 Mars-Quakes, which proves that the planet is somehow alive. It's not just the fact that we saw an decrease of oxygen or an decrease of the Mars magnetosphere. Now we have these earthquakes. It's not just Earth that has earthquakes. We have moonquakes as well. We also have Mars-Quakes. So what's going on here? Now, a probe on Mars monitoring the red planet for any type of geological activity has found seismic activity. This probe is powered by British ingenuity, measuring more than 400 Mars-Quakes in the first year of its mission, which proves the startling extent of some kind of geologic life. The tremors were detected by a set of silicon sensors. They were developed in the UK for InSight Seismic Experiment for Interior Structure, or SIES for short, SIES. The data collected gives us vital information about the internal mechanics of the planet, as well as clues about how planets, including Earth, came to form in the first place, billions of years ago. We're very interested on how the universe was formed, the Big Bang, and our solar system. Okay, that's wonderful to know. But the thing is, they've got to know as much as they can before they start sending probes up there, and especially humans, because in the next, 10, 15 years, they plan on having not only a moon colony and moon station above the lunar surface, but also sending humans to Mars. So they have to know as much as they can about this. Okay, let's say you want to have a human colony. Where are you going to place that colony? On some kind of a Mars fault? Can you imagine? Anyway, Imperial College London, Oxford University, and STFC RAL Space worked together with the help of £4 million supplied by the UK Space Agency. They developed 3 sensors which were capable of detecting motion at subatomic scales. The Science Minister, Amanda Soloway, said that detecting hundreds of Mars-Quakes on the planet 140 miles from Earth, is farther from Earth than the Sun is. The Sun is 93 million miles. Mars is 140 million miles from Earth. Okay, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. It's not 93 million miles, it's 91.993 million miles. So it's about a million plus miles closer to Earth than I originally said. It's about 92 million miles. Okay, so as you can understand, Mars is way off, and it's quite far. So it's quite expensive, obviously, to fund these missions to go there. Now, the UK was using sensors to have this important achievement, detecting hundreds of Mars-Quakes. And they said that this is an example of how world-leading UK science and growing space sector contribute to international missions. Okay, furthering, of course, the human understanding of our solar system. NASA pioneered mission is the first to look deep under the Martian surface and confirmed the first ever recorded Mars-Quake back in April 6, 2019, less than a year ago. And by the end of last year, it was detecting an average of 2 quakes every single day. 2 quakes a day, proving that the red planet is very much geologically alive. So what's going on? 2 earthquakes a day? The findings suggest that Mars experiences quakes more frequently and also more mildly than had been anticipated, with the largest measuring 4 magnitude. Seismic waves change as they move through different materials. They enable scientists to understand Mars' inner structure. And that's exactly what we do with our quakes. We know that, for example, that's how they find minerals or gas or oil deposits, because of the fact of the earthquakes moving slower or faster through certain bodies. So they do this again with the same type of scientific method is used with Mars. From this, they're able to glean information about the way in which other planets other rocky planets came into being. Okay, so this UK InSight probe is also equipped with other instruments, and they measure the Martian wind, the Martian magnetic field, and the temperature, etc. And scientists set out findings from the mission in a series of 6 papers. They were published today in Nature and Nature Geoscience. Speaking to the newspaper to media prior to InSight's launch May 2018, Principal Investigator Bruce Baynard said this will be the first mission to probe the depths of Mars and map out the detailed structure of the interior of the planet. For InSight, the Mars-Quakes will act like flash bulbs, he said, that will allow us to see what is inside Mars. Each Mars-Quake will send vibrations or waves traveling through the planet, and the waves are modified by the material they pass through. So when we record them with our seismometer, we can decode this information and start to put together a 3D picture of the inside of Mars. Mars is much less active than Earth, but considerably more active than the Moon. InSight's measurements will help establish exactly how active the planet is, and together with the determination of the interior structure, we'll be able to better estimate the history of the activity. We will get information about general chemistry of the rocks in deep crust and mantle, which will tell us something about the amount of water contained in these rocks. And he says that this decade that we're going into, will see several missions to Mars. One of them will be ExoMars 220, a joint European Space Agency with Russia's Roscosmos mission due to launch this summer. And on board will be Rosalind Franklin, previously known as the ExoMars rover, which will drill into the surface, searching for traces of past or present life. As we said in yesterday's video concerning Mars, they want to examine what's underneath the surface. Now, for life, of course. And sophisticated vehicles were designed to built by Airbus Space and Defence in Stevenage, in Hertfordshire, in the UK. Now, as far as finding things on Mars, I can't wait, because we have the images of the Cydonia area of Mars. The NASA image is showing us the face and pyramids aligned to Orion's belt. We even have the Emerald tablets telling us of the fact that the Atlanteans had interstellar travel before the deluge of the Great Flood, and they had colonies on these areas of Mars and the Moon. And we even have been told that one of the Anunnaki leaders was buried here on Mars with his entourage of another 6 or 7 high-ranking officials, and that when he was buried there on the Mars surface, they constructed a face on top of his tomb that would be visible by the Anunnaki from space and also by us Earthlings. So, I don't know. I'm just eager for them to find out. I hope they go to Cydonia. Where are they going to go? And that's where they should pinpoint that area first, because obviously we have images of construction there by somebody. And anyway, Mars, according to Wikipedia, Mars is the 4th planet from the Sun, and it's the 2nd smallest planet in our solar system after Mercury. It is often referred to as a red planet. The latter refers to the effect of the iron oxide prevalent on Mars' surface, which gives it a red appearance, distinctive among the astronomical bodies visible by our naked eye. Mars is a terrestrial planet with a very thin atmosphere, having surface features reminiscent both of impact craters of the Moon and valleys, deserts, and even polar ice caps, looking like what we have here on Earth. Days and seasons are likewise compared to those of Earth because of the rotational period, as well as the tilt of the rotation axis relative to the eclipse plane are very similar. Mars is the site of Olympus Mons, the largest volcano and highly known mountain on any planet in the solar system, and the Valles Marianas, one of the largest canyons in the solar system. The smooth borealis basis is the northern hemisphere, covering 40% of the planet, and may be a gigantic impact feature as well. Mars has 2 moons, Phobos and Deimos, which are similar and irregularly shaped, and they may be captured asteroids similar to the 5261 Eureka, and as Mars Trojan. And Phobos is very strange because it looks as if it's got striations and lines, as if it's somehow constructed. I don't know, what can I tell you? So there's a lot to be learned by missions to Mars. This is an article by Express UK, Assyrian McGrath. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.